Good morning. How are you feeling, Mr. Marson?
I was on the edge, sort of. We pushed it. Normally, we record it on Saturday. You guys can't hear. I'm under the weather. But today is Sunday. We're recording for Thursday. It's right before Christmas. And yes, we have decided to go because we got to support the group. The next episode is due, and that's what we got to do. Um, Today's episode is about.
It's about different types of drinks to prepare us, prepare us for January as well as New Year's.
Yeah. So we have two things going on, and again, I apologize for my voice, but I'll try my best. Joanna will do most of the talking, but I'll do the intro. So why are we here, Marcin and Joanna? We have collectively lost 110 pounds combined. We're targeting another 100 pounds. We have our ideal weights that we want to get to. We're 47. I'm 48. Joanna's 47, and we're basically documenting the journey and helping other folks get to their goals, weight goals. But at the same time, we're not only focusing on weight. It's also your health. So you're gonna hear us from time to time. We don't only talk about weight loss and sort of different ways to get there, but we're gonna talk about other health things like sleep and maybe meditation and other things. Anything that can benefit you. Primarily, we talk about how do we get glucose down and insulin down to make you less insulin resistance, so you can unlock your body and can burn through all the stored fat and get to your goals. Like we mentioned, today's episode is about what is that we can drink. Some of you may be doing fasting before holidays, or around the holidays, maybe shortly after. We also have something we're going to talk about maybe a little later in January, because we have a challenge coming up and we have an announcement coming up, which is also exciting. But I know that announcement will be about another fast. I think this time we're going to be targeting a 36-hour fast. We already, I believe, mentioned that in the previous episode 19. So we thought it's kind of overdue to talk about what is it that you can drink during fasting. And remember one thing, we're not optimizing just for fasting super clean. You may have a lot of people approaching you and like, well, you're not doing your clean fast because you have your coffee with your MCT oil, for example. But we know that it's better to have coffee with MCT oil and 100 calories in it if it's going to keep you sane and keep you on track. This is having a clean fast, just having coffee, being pissed off and dropping the whole thing altogether. So that's our angle. So you guys are going to hear us talking about 4 categories of drinks. So one category of drink is the clean fast drinks. Like if you want to push it really hard and be on point, those are the drinks you should consider. The second category is what we do most of the time, at least I do. Joanna is more of a purist. I like to cheat with my drinks sometimes. So the second category is like flexible things. So coffee with MCT oil is an example. There may be some energy drinks that are
Okay,
okay
well, we
for
can talk
you.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the second category. The third category are sodas. I'm absolutely anti. There are people that are totally okay with it. It's not affecting their glucose. We always say you have to measure and see the impact on your body because everybody's different. So if you have 10 people telling you that it's something is not okay, if you try it, you measure and see that it's okay for you, then guess what? It's okay for you. And the fourth category is alcohols. Christmas is right behind a corner. New Year's is right behind a corner. People are going to reach out for drinks, and we just wanted to give you a couple tips on like, hey, instead of this, maybe drink something else because you can still drink, and we just want to give you the advice on what's okay, what's not okay. So what's next? Numbers.
Yes, our numbers.
All right, let's look at numbers. So you're going first. What's happening in your
Yeah.
world?
So these are my numbers. I am at 184.6, which is, I'm happy about this because it's lower than I've been so far in this journey of ours this time. So
Lower.
I lower, yeah.
Oh wow, congratulations. That's a big
Thank you.
deal.
Yeah, not much, but 2 ounces lower.
You're very. That's okay. You're very reserved. I would look happier than you, but
It's, it's okay. I'm not there yet. So,
I get it. I get it. Little success. Oh yeah, you're right. 2.2 ounces. Yeah, but it's the lowest, and you're heading
yeah.
in the right way. The last 4 weeks, so last month you've been going down and down. If you look at it, your month is 189.4, 184.6, like 5 pounds a month. All right, that's a
Yeah.
win,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
That's,
not five
that's
up.
perfect. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
awesome.
So yeah, so I'm moving right along. I know I'm gonna have some bumps now, and I'm okay with it. I was planning on it. I knew I was wanted to be nice and strict till Christmas to enjoy what I wanted to enjoy.
I know. I know you're already yesterday, and today is all about making Christmas cookies and pierogies.
Yes.
So I know you're looking forward to it, and like I said, it's totally okay as long as it's manageable. Just make sure you don't, not you, but like anybody
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
It goes for all of us that we don't turn it into a whole feast for another month and a half. You know what I mean?
So I just wanted to share, you guys. I planned for this. I knew that I told Marcin, I go, I am making my. I love making the Christmas cookies, and I love eating the Christmas cookies.
Yeah,
And I told him, I go, I made three different types of pierogies. I made ushka, which is with our soup, and I am planning to eat all of this. I am planning to eat this on because we celebrate Christmas Eve as well as Christmas Day after. So I made sure that I'm nice and clean all throughout the December so I can enjoy this. And as we'll go on later, we'll do a challenge, which is then going to clean up whatever I'm going to eat now. So I plan for all this. I don't just decide, today I'm going to eat anything I want.
yeah, yeah. It's a. You're gonna harm yourself intentionally. I totally get it. And the thing is, it's all mental, right? So it's allowing yourself to do it from time to time, and and it's, we know how it works. A lot of times we're gonna go like, okay, if today's the day, then I'm gonna go
Yeah,
heavy, and just always remember, glucose guardians, Marcin and Joanna always preach, because we know from experience when we go super heavy, especially for like maybe 2 days straight, with Christmas, everything's possible. And Santa is not a good example of somebody that would be cutting their weight. But the thing is, you have to remember that it's, the more you're gonna load on, the harder will be to recover. So like, just try to
yeah,
like dial it down to maybe 7. Don't go crazy all the way up to 10. Dial it down a little bit because it's easier to recover, and then jump into
yeah.
your standard.
Try to keep your hours, and I've mentioned this a couple of times. Try to have a good healthy breakfast because that will keep you fuller longer, and you won't have those cravings for the whole day. If you have a sweet breakfast, you're going to continue with the cravings right from the beginning. So stick to your hours as much as you can, as or extend, if you extend them by an hour or so, but not completely back to less than 12 hour eating more than 12 hours, and start your day off with the right breakfast.
Yeah. For me personally, so here's where my weight is. I think I was a 0.8 pound, but given kind of where I am and how I sound, I'm like, you know what, whatever. It's as long as I'm staying flat, I'm gonna be okay. My progress looks like this. So I was kind of flat this week. As you can see, it went up 0.8. So it's okay. My thing about Christmas is, I think I'm gonna go, like, this is what I would like to do. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see after. But I think, I will try. Like with Thanksgiving, it was a little heavy, in a sense that, eh, like we went. It was the cakes, I think, in the end. So it wasn't really the food, the turkey, and the primary meals. It was all the additional stuff, right? So I'll try to be careful around that. Christmas, I don't know what kind of craziness Joanna has planned. I know the cookies hard to resist, but we'll see. Maybe I can keep it under control. My goal is to, if I can keep it flat for another week, that would be great. And even if I go up, like I would like to go up 2 weeks in a row. So I have like a plan A, plan B sort of a situation. Like I said, point eight. So I'm okay with this week, and that is it. Now back to the main topic.
Yes. So let's start talking about clean drinks. These are the clean drinks that you want to drink while you're on fast. While
Yep.
you're fasting, so you don't disturb your fast. Marcin kind of mentioned this a little bit in the beginning. Whatever you question whether you should drink it or not drink it, if you have a glucose meter, always test yourself. Test yourself before drinking it, drink your whatever you want to drink, and then 15 to 30 minutes after, check your glucose. If you don't spike or you spike minimally, then it's fine. It did not kick you out of a fast. It's something you can drink. um, in my case, my clean drinks are only water, plain water
Well,
with
yeah,
lime.
we'll talk about it. Don't get into the actual solutions. But what I wanted to say, one thing you said questionable, you said measuring, and I agree with you because even you and me, we test different for like element drink, we test different for coffee and MCT oil, so it's really important to test. Should
Yes.
we go through the list? I'm gonna uncover an
Yeah.
item,
Yeah.
starting with the super clean drinks, and then you can give your thing, and if I have anything to add and can still talk,
Sounds
then
good.
I'll do it. All right, so let's take a look at our list. We're starting. By the way, this if you're maybe watching on YouTube, all of the material that we're sharing, like anything downloadable, all the files and references and lists and any sort of the worksheets or that we share here with you guys. If you go to our Facebook group, this is the QR code, but the name of the group is Glucose Guardians. You can find everything there. That's the easiest way to do it. But if not, just follow the list here. So back to the list. Clean drinks. So
Yes, our
this is
clean
the
drinks.
optimal way to do it.
Yes.
All right,
So
number one.
water, of course. Water is the best thing. You could have flavored water, as long as it has no any sugars added. Even sweeteners will create cravings in your brain, because it is going to hit your pleasure part of your brain, and you're still going to crave sweets. So it's not going to do what it should do. And for some people, it will actually spike your sugar up a tiny bit. So water, plain sparkling, flavored with lemon or bubbly, it's fine. Mountain mineral water is awesome too, because you're going to get all your minerals in there. So any type of water.
All right. Examples. I mentioned bubbly because this is the first one that came to mind, but I know what are like the popular this spring polar or whatever it's called, also called
Yeah,
comes
Poland
flavored.
Spring has flavored. Polar Polar soda. I don't know if it's Polar soda or Polar. The company Polar has plenty of waters as well that are just flavored, and nothing in them. So basically, any plain water flavored with no
The
additives.
yes, sorry. The other one that I'm thinking of the name, is it Lacroix? I know I'm butchering the name, but it's there's another one that's super common. Like I said, anything that has no sweeteners, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. What's number two?
Black coffee, again, plain black, nothing in it. Once you put anything in it, I suggest testing. The minimal thing. Oh, maybe that will put that in a semi clean drinks. So black coffee.
Yeah, black coffee. The thing with black coffee, it's almost like a vinegar response that you get from people. Some people are like, yeah, that's totally cool. They don't mind. You know how I drink my apple cider vinegar. I I just dump it and that's it. You take your time with it. Some people are disgusted with apple cider vinegar.
Yes, I can do it.
Can't do it. Can't do it. It's super good for you though. When you're fasting, if you can get used to it, somehow deal with the thing, with the smell and the your response. I know for some people it's really bad. Like they get their almost like a gagging reflex.
Yeah.
But it's super good for you. Not only as not as a drink maybe, but it drops your glucose levels, keeps it under. I think 30% difference after
Yes.
eating after drinking that stuff. With black coffee, however, I remember when this is a long time ago, never had black coffee. Hated black coffee. Always had to had it, which always had to have have it with with some sort of a sweetener or sugar. I'm not okay still with drinking tea without any sweeteners. Just can't do it. So I totally understand. I can resonate with those that are hating certain drinks. So with black coffee, it's just an adjustment. After a while, you changed. I changed with black coffee. Joanna changed with olives. She recently mentioned anchovies on her pizza, which is an absolute craziness. But your tastes are changing, right? So you will adopt. If you can do it, can do it. We're talking about an optimal way of achieving the goals. So
Correct. So black coffee.
number three.
Cold brew coffee. Yes, again. So any type of coffee that is no sugar, no creams,
Yeah.
basically zero in it.
Yeah, so it's just equivalent. It's more on the for those of you guys that like your coffee a little juiced up. It's a little stronger. It's an iced version of just regular coffee, and it's totally okay. Any sort of espresso, same bucket.
Yeah.
If sometimes at Starbucks, I know you use the drink at Starbucks. The what is it? The shaken espresso. Are those things okay?
Yes. No. So I didn't. I just. I found out. They made. I asked for a shaken espresso, but I said without the creamer. And there's a certain. You could have a plain espresso shaken, but what they made for me was a shaken espresso with some sort of syrup that they use,
Yeah.
and that was sweet flavored and all that stuff. So yeah, so when you do go somewhere and ask for a coffee, make sure that it's completely black with nothing in it. Sometimes you have to tell them no additives.
So is it
And
okay? Is it okay to throw the shaken espresso in the second group, like sort of okay drinks, or still would you not throw it there?
no, you just go and say, listen, I want a plain black shaken espresso, nothing in
Yeah,
it except ice, right? That's it.
I gotcha. What about how do you feel about like let's say cold brew? Because we mentioned that with you know how they have the sweet creams or whatever on top.
Yeah, no, that will throw you right out.
Yeah. So it will exactly. So when you're doing a prolonged fast, something
Mhm.
longer, uh, stay away from it because it'll spike you up. Again, measure. All right, back to
Personally, yeah, I just want to mention that personally for me and everybody, I work hard not to eat, and especially when I'm like on a 24 hour or 36 hours, and I definitely don't want to even take a chance with something that might throw me out because why put in all the hard work and have all these good things happen into your body when something silly can just get you right out of there.
yeah. Totally. Number four, teas. I wrote Tazo teas. Is that what it
So
is?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're nice, they're flavored. Uh, but hey, you know what, you guys, any tea, basically any tea that you take that has nothing in it except just just the leaves of whatever herbs or whatever teas. Do be careful with teas that are made from like oranges or made from strawberries, raspberries, just because they may throw you off a little bit. So again, test. But any black teas, perfectly fine.
Yeah. And again, measure. I know it's work, but like you have to check. And again, we're not telling you guys what you should be doing. I hate that word. I always tell Joanna I wish it never existed because it puts this sort of a pressure, and we're not preaching, we're just sharing what works with us. You may find out there's other options, and I would love if you're in a group to like share. If you see
Yeah.
something that's not on this list and it's like, dude, I've tried this, it's working, it's awesome. Please add comments or reach out or ping me and like, hey, Marcin, this is working. I want to add it to the list because the more tools we're equipped with to handle to kind of when we're dealing with this stuff, the better we are. Tazo teas is like personally they work for me. Joanna is doing herbal teas, which I hate, like the whole chamomile business and whatever green, not green tea, but like what's the other one, mint tea or something.
Yeah, chamomile mint.
Totally not in my cup of a tea per se. But so we're different. All right, back to the list, and I think we're moving on to number five, Joanna's favorite. I don't know how she does it. Let's talk about it.
Yes. So, actually, for your gut, why warm water? Warm water is actually good for your gut and your intestines, and it just helps them function a little bit. And I don't want to say better; they just prefer it. Okay. So in a lot of countries, you're not even going to get cold drinks, and it's not because, oh my God, they're not civilized and they don't have cold drinks, but it's because it's not good for your intestines. So we just from, again, commercials of Pepsi Cola and Coca Cola being nice and cold. That's how we got into this business of cold drinks only. But warm water with lemon is very good for your intestines and the lining of your stomach.
Yeah, I don't
Completely
think
recommend it.
I don't think Coca-Cola or Pepsi Cola would be ever interested in sponsoring our show here. But the thing is, you mentioned warm water is good, but also lemon because it's acidic, right? It's good for your
Correct.
whether you're doing it in the warm water or cold water. It's good for you in general for fasting.
Yes, lemon is really good for so you're I was not supposed to go scientifically
Yeah.
into this, but the inside of your stomach and your intestines are like these little wavy, you could call them like waves that kind of move things along. The more lemon actually is proven to help all that stuff move nicely along. The more
Mm.
it moves along, the more everything goes in through your body, in and out like it should.
All right. Cool. And I think this could be end of the clean list. Yes, it is. So
Yes.
I will move it down. Now we're getting into
Into
the
our semi
semi
clean.
okay. This is kind of the world we live in. Those are the drinks. At least I don't know. You can speak for yourself. I know you like I said you're more maybe on the cleaner side. I'm okay with doing the extras, the middle of the ground here. And first one is coffee with MCT oil or butter. A lot of people refer to it as bulletproof coffee. There's actually a brand called Bulletproof Coffee, but it's essentially, and I know there's going to be somebody that says I'm full of shit because I said,
Yeah.
bulletproof coffee. It is a bit of a different coffee. I'm not an expert on bulletproof, but I know there's but not only a trend, but there's a tribe of people that are supporting it, and I'm all for it. But what I'm saying is, it could be a substitute for bulletproof. Could be just regular good coffee, good bean,
Yeah.
with additions. So, what do you want to say here?
Yeah, so coffee with some sort of additive like MCT oil, which Marcin was talking about. It's like the 100. It's about 100 calories. So I personally use it for extending my fast. So if I am at the point of 24 hours, but I want to go 36, and I put only a teaspoon of butter with some cinnamon and or MCT oil, it's enough of calories to take away that edge, but not enough to completely throw me out of my fasting window. But that is only if I go for for a more than 24-hour fast. Here's the reason why. If I and I've proven this on myself. If I used to love my morning coffee with either MCT oil or with the butter, but I noticed I wouldn't lose the weight the same just because the extra calories added on, right? So if I drink it 5 times a day, that's 500 calories for the week. That just comes out of a drink, right? And who wants to have their calories in a drink? Personally, I do not. So now my coffee with butter, because that's my favorite, is only when I'm fasting for a long time or on
Yeah,
the weekend.
yeah, and I agree with you. That's a perfect way. I think you just you turn one of my bulbs on. You're right in the sense that like 100 calories may not sound like a lot, but
Mhm.
we're optimizing the hours. We're pushing the hour window because we want to decrease the amount of calories because that's what it
Yeah,
is. And if you think of it in terms of a week, like 500 calories is sometimes for a lot of us it could be a goal 500 calories, right? And
correct.
it's like you're not really eating anything. It's more for your pleasure portions of your brain. So it's like, oh, I love to have it in the morning, but like you're right, I did cut down actually on my MCT oil consumption in the morning for the very same reason, because I noticed if I don't have it every day, if I just have it like on Saturday, maybe one time during a week,
Yeah,
and then on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I'm still okay. The weight comes off easier. Um, Can you tell me about the butter that you use for your coffee? Like, is there a special butter or any butter?
So personally, I prefer we in the house only have grass-fed Irish grass-fed butter, but basically it's any grass-fed butter, salted, and that's what I put in my coffee. It tastes delicious. If you can, I would overall switch your butters into grass-fed butter for everything that you use.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We did mention that in previous episodes. If you missed it, sometimes we're showing an actual product. I forgot to bring it in today, but same thing for me. MCT oil, and Joy and I included the link. Here's the thing: sometimes we're including the links and we're kind of weighing the option, like, oh, because it's an affiliate link. So Joy and I made the whopping $2.90 out of sharing links. So we always like pull back, like, we don't want people to think that it's, we're making money on this, but when we're sharing the links for total transparency, yes, of course, we can make $3 or $4 here and there, but we will try, especially for this episode, if you have something, because we're mentioning products, if we
yeah,
want to create a list, or I know you have like a consolidated list of products,
I
we'll
do, I
make
do.
we'll make an exception, and then we'll include it here so everybody can access
Yeah,
it whatever they feel like they need to do. All
yeah,
right, next, are we done with this one?
yeah. Coffee's done.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, next one.
Yes. So you know what? We should have maybe. So the pinch of salt in water is clean, you guys. Because it's just salt. It's not going to throw you out of your fasting. It is going to give you the minerals that you're really good. We use. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Martin.
Oh yeah, I can help with. So we're using two types of salt. One is Celtic and one is Baja salt.
Yes.
You want to talk about the difference, how you use them?
Yeah. So Celtic salt is it's a little bit less expensive than Baja price wise. Baja salt is great for cooking. It's very fine. Um, I noticed that you need to use a little bit more to get that salty taste. And the kosher salt has more of the minerals in it, I believe, and is not as pure. But it's perfect for water. That's what I use for water. Like big glass of water in the morning with like a good pinch of salt in there. Um, and at the end, you're gonna see like a little bit, almost like a little bit of sand. Yes, that's the salt. Do drink it.
Yeah, and did you mention the Baja? Sorry, my brain just, I think, disconnected for a second.
Yeah, Baja is a little bit more expensive. I use it for cooking. It has a little bit. You need to use a little bit more in order to get that taste, and it's a little less salty, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah,
But it is. It's a little bit less salty.
takes more, and the thing is, so two things that come to mind. Are we totally freaking out and like not using, whatever, buying products, not using regular salt? Personally, I use regular salt, just the iodized whitened salt, just for convenience, quick on the go. Sometimes I grab it from the thing. I try to, for drinking with my water, never regular iodized salt. I use Celtic specifically and religiously. What you're going to notice with Celtic salt, just a better quality of salt with actual minerals in it. So there's no bad stuff in it, and basically when you take it, some people like report not having like, some people like replace their coffee sometimes. They feel so good when you
Correct.
get the electrolytes, the minerals in your body. It kills cravings a little bit. It has a little bit of taste on in your mouth. Almost
Mhm.
feels like a snack kind of a thing. And then you drink it, and then your body sort of, especially in the morning, like it gets a good kick out of that. Some
Yeah.
people, a lot of people drink like coffee for like morning headaches or later in the day headaches. Eliminates that as well. So because you have the right stuff in your body, the right fuel, so it's really good. We should put it in the clean category. The only reason why I put it there, I believe, not an excuse, but it was the electrolytes, like element additions of element, because element can play tricks. I think you respond to it, meaning it
Correct.
creates a spike for you, more,
Mhm.
not like a huge spike. It's not like eating a burger, but it's a bigger spike than what you would like, right?
Correct. It's enough to get me out of my fasting.
And for me, it also creates a spike, but not good enough to
Mhm.
kick me out of fasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I have a theory on this. I think it also depends on what you eat the day prior to
Mhm.
drinking that. Like if you're just purely, let's say you're on your day 2, 3 of fasting and have element, I think it doesn't have that big of a spike.
Of a
So
spike. Yeah.
something to be proven. All right, next one.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. You do want to drink water with in the morning when you get up. Remember, while you're sleeping, your brain is doing lots of work. It's cleaning up. It's resting. It's not getting any hydration. And it floats in water, as all of you guys know. So when you wake up, the best thing that you can do for yourself, your memory, and your head is drink a big glass of water.
Yeah. All right, number 3.
Okay, so diluted apple cider vinegar in water or a squeeze of lemon. Again, we kind of talked about this a little bit. It should not bring you out of fasting. Again, test if something, but it will help you with reducing your craving, as well as help you with digestion.
Yeah. The optional squeeze of lemon, I think I've added it because I've heard some people, because of to change the taste a little bit, just from
Mhm.
the apple cider vinegar, they add lemon just for flavor and additional value. Next one.
Yes, bone
This
broth.
this is a controversial one, but let's talk about it.
Correct. So plain bone broth. It you got to think about it the same way as this, as MCT oil or as your butter in your coffee. It is a good drink to get you through the hump of keep your fasting a little bit longer, but it will break up the fast a little bit. Okay, so but if like I said, you're doing 30, your plan is 36 hours, you're at 24 hours, and it's either having the bone broth and giving up, then I would say bone broth. But
Yeah.
it is a and again, everybody reacts differently, you
Yeah.
guys. We're
Yeah.
only sharing experiences that we hear about and that we tested.
The bone broth for me, here's how I think about. I didn't actually. I don't think I measured bone broth for myself, but where I really use it is when we're doing a prolonged fasting for longer than like 24 hours. I'm more of a chicken, and I think I'm gonna give up quicker. So, and I still want to get the benefit. I'm not like a purist when it comes to
Mhm.
fasting, but because I want to go, basically for me, it's not like a 2 day or 3 day fast. I look at it as it's a 2 day or 3 day no food time period, right? So I basically think of it that way. And yes, of course, it is better if you're just pure, preferably just water alone. I'm not that brave. I remember last time when we did it, I did bone broth on day 1 as basically my meal replacement. So it had a little bit of a thing in there. The only thing is like, what is it that you're optimizing for? For me, it's like a
Yeah,
cleanup. When you're talking about, sometimes Joanna talks about things like autophagy after a certain amount of hours. Then know that it's like that's not going to happen unless you're purely following your guidelines. But if you're just like, hey, I want my gut to feel better, I want to lose weight, I want
yeah,
to be trimmed, maybe I have an event coming up, maybe I have an interview coming up, maybe I have a speech coming up, then you can stay with bone broth and just not use the food. You'll feel phenomenal. All the ketones are going to be firing up. You're going to be in so much better shape, but you may not reach the autophagy. Some people
yeah,
go 5 days for the um, I'm thinking of a term to reset your biological markers for like your body keeps track of how heavy you are, and it will optimize to keep you at that weight. That's why we come back to weight
mhm,
usually. Some people like to go for 5 days because they want to reset them. Because as if you go 5 days, you can reset those things, and you can then drop weight, and your body, and then stay there for a little bit. Your body will adopt the new weight as its new weight, and that's what it is. Didn't mean to complicate it, but the when you guys look at the list, I actually googled it as we were talking. So this is the bone broth that is highly recommended in the fasting world. If I zoom in, you probably recognize the brand, the Kettle and Fire. It's kind of cool because it comes in different flavors. It's like a beef and chicken, but then it has like a turmeric that Joanna likes, and
Mhm.
there's just other flavors. So I would highly recommend it. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. All right, back to the list, and let me see
If you have anything
where.
out there.
Give me 1 second. Need to understand where I am. Hold on. This is 100%. Okay. So bone broth, we've covered this. Amino energy electrolytes. I can talk about
Yes.
this one, or do you want to talk about this one?
Um,
Talk
I
about it.
can tell you this much. This again, it's a tool, right, that we use. It helps you replenish anything that you may be losing or your body feels like it's losing while you're fasting. And for instance, for me, the aminos do not break me out of my fasting because it has no
Yeah,
fake sugar, the one
yeah.
that we have.
And I've added this for those guys that like maybe you're in a gym trying to like do fasting and keep this protocol. A lot of times we mentally like to keep something aside. It's sort of like a pre-workout regime. Like I
Yeah,
have to put something in my mouth. So it's like if you can't just do water, if you want to stay within that realm of I got to do something with my hand and my, you can you can do those amino energy electrolytes. I know there's drinks, the keto infused or the or the drinks that are promoting keto ramp up, I want to say. So you're going, if you want to see your number of ketones in your blood go up, there are actually drinks that you can do. That could be another alternative. Just be careful, look at the label. I'm losing my voice, so I don't know how long am I going to be able to go. Maybe you're going to have to finish the rest, but back to the
correct.
list.
You guys, anything that you buy that's pre-made for keto or anything like that, please just read the labels. Don't be fooling. Sugar comes in a ridiculous amount of different names. So,
Yeah.
okay. Celsius energy drinks. All right. So
So actually,
again,
I'm gonna take this one because you're kind of anti Cel.
yeah,
You used to love Celsius and now you're anti just because of the sort of the information circulating around about the sources that are going into it and whatever. But I'll say this again, another mental thing. I'm a Red Bull fanatic. It's not good for you, but like I like to have my energy drink from time to time. And all I'm saying here, I'm not promoting Celsius, saying it's the best thing you can drink. But if you need to have your energy drink, Celsius is better than any other drink out there. So I totally get it for those of you Monster drinkers and Red Bull drinkers. I would go Celsius route if you need to have your energy drink. That's probably all we have to say.
yeah.
So anything you would like to add on this one?
No, if you do end up going with this one, just take it sugar free.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right. So we're done with category number 2. Now we're moving on to
Alcohol.
alcohols. So let's take a look here.
Yeah. So you guys, again, alcohol, it will break you out of a fast because it is calories, and it does make you think that you got sugar, but but now how to decrease the impact of it, that's what we're playing on this one with. So when you do have your tequila, make sure you drink your tequila, the least, no additional sugars, right?
So Joanna will stumble on this one just because she's not a heavy drinker. I used to be a heavy drinker. I don't drink now, but I remember this was a big deal for me, just because holidays or New Year or any sort of outing, if there's no booze, it's like why do it, right? But the thing is, you're better off with hardcore liquor mixed with water. That's the principle. Than having some sort of heavy beers, custom beers, IPAs, heavy drinks,
Yeah,
drinks mixed with juices. Like it's a pretty straightforward idea. If you have to have empty calories, right? But like if you have to have it, then mix it with like whatever's going to get you to this buzz quicker with as minimum number of calories as possible. So you're gonna see things here like tequila with vodka, and then tequila with vodka. Don't do that. Tequila with water, vodka with soda or water. I have to zoom in. Give me 1 second. Let me know if you can see it. Okay.
No,
Oh, it's not even on the
lost.
screen. There you go.
Vodka. Yep.
So if you have to do it with hard liquor, tequila and vodka. Again, if you want to look for the list of drinks that we recommend, we actually have a separate section under files in the Facebook group here. Scan the code or go to the group, and under files, you can actually see it on this screen. You can find a list of like drinks that we have found and measured and tested. When I say we, it's me, and you can find it there. And number 3, dry wine. You got to take it from here. I can't talk.
Okay. So when we do say soda for alcohols, we recommend sugar-free sodas, not regular sodas.
Yep.
But the thing would be the best would be sparkling water flavored. Have your vodka with your bubbly, and it will taste good and not affect your spike of sugar as much. Dry wine, again, it's all about the additional sugars that are put into things, right? So we want to limit that as much as possible. All right, next. Light beer. Again, light beer will have less amount of carbs in it, and that will help you out with staying on target.
Yeah, so light beer, there's so many good options. From starting from Corona to Bud Light makes to anything light. A lot of people think that like when a beer says that it's light, that it's actually lighter in alcohol content. Most cases that's true. Not all the time. When it says light on the bottle, it's actually kind of like if you're looking at sour cream or milk in the store and it's like a low fat thing, this is what they're telling you. It's light in terms of carbs, so it's not as heavy for you. And those of you that are gym buffs and already know that it's like it's better to drink more of that. Can't win with alcohol; it's free calories, so there's no winning. But if you have to have it, stay with those options.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for alcohols. And the last category,
Our
I know
last is sodas.
we push against it sort of. We were never like soda drinkers.
Mhm.
There's a lot of like Coke Zero, Diet Coke fanatics, Dr Pepper, anything diet. We got rid of sodas just in general in our life at one point,
Yeah.
just because of the amount of sugar. But we totally understand that's your vice. I'm never getting rid of coffee in my life. Add anything you need to add here.
Yeah. So again, sodas, if you can just stay away, just try drinking it with a zero sugar, just so you don't create that humongous spike. One can of soda has so much sugar that's all you need for the whole day, if not more at this point, because they keep adding the sugar more and more every time. So, so yeah, so just stay away from sodas if you can. If you can switch it over to bubbly water with flavored, that's awesome. But if you do go for your sodas, try to go for sodas that are zero sugar in them.
All right, perfect. This episode will not be it'll be posted on the 26th. After 26th, we're hoping that you were not on the nutty list, that you were good with your fasting and just a good person in general. So hopefully you got some good gifts. New Year's is coming. Be careful, guys, with New Year's. And then for January, what do you have going on for January? I know we are thinking about the fasting and thinking
Correct.
about doing some sort of a challenge, maybe a 1 day or 2 day. And we're gonna be looking for some folks that want to like join us for January. We're going hard again January, and if anybody would like to join, we can explain the details. But you're gonna actually see between holidays and New Year's little announcements about what's gonna be happening. You want to add
Correct.
anything?
So no, so for first thing is that we are planning another longer fast from January 5th to January 6th. We will have more information on it. We're planning to do a 36. our fest. And another thing is like you said, we were going to have a little thing going on. More information will be happening, but basically any of you guys that want to work sort of one-on-one
All
with
right,
us.
cool. That's it from us today. Happy 2025. We'll see you guys in the group. There's probably going to be a quick Merry Christmas inside the group later on. I'm sure Joanna's going to figure something out. That's it
Yep.
for us today. Have a good one. Any
All
last
right, bye
words?
you guys, take care.
All right. See ya. Bye.